What's up, tubers? Welcome back to the channel. Got the next project on the bench here. What's coming up? And I figured I'd do a little intro and voiceover here. This kit, it's not a great one. The MPC Little Hustler. The same slash similar to the also Little Hustler MPC. It just the other one is just a pickup. It doesn't have the tilt bed, the V8, the big tires, and all that. I haven't built this one yet. I've built the other one a few times, three, four maybe, and it's not a great kit. it's it's MPC. You know, there's not much to it. It's kind of a little janky, but it's just kind of a drag because, in my opinion, this is the coolest truck ever. I've had many of them, and man, I wish there was a more detailed kit of this model, this car. Decals, I probably won't use much of any of that stuff. The instructions I had pulled out when I'm doing something like this, I always like to get whatever parts there are that it's gonna need, that it wants, the stock stuff, and see how far off I am. It always starts with an idea, and this one I knew that I wanted to make a lowrider, but like I said, I had to dig all the parts out and see what was there, what was available, what was possible. Like in the real world, I know that we should do is we just take the springs and flip them or turn them upside down. So I don't know, we'll see if that's possible with this. But right away I need to find some wheels and tires for it. Kind of digging through the stash, got the boxes out, the rubber and rims and wheels and tires and all that, and a lot of what you see here is just garbage. It's just leftovers from 2-in-1, 3-in-1 kits that some of it's cool, some of it I just can't bear to throw away. But I dug through it and found I've got a decent selection of JDM styles and different stuff that I thought would look cool. And I narrowed it down to, I got about 8 here that all felt cool. So whatever, I set that aside and kind of went and dug through my box to find I've got a few different engines and motors and stuff that are already painted for mock-up, but the wheels are kind of where it starts with me anyways. And in the real world, like you buy a car, the first thing I do to change it is the wheels and tires. So same thing applies with the models. So I went through and chose the 8 that I found and started playing with them and seeing what fits and what looks right and what jumps out at me. I already kind of had an idea of where I wanted to go. I want to make a lowrider, basically. I want to slam it. So sifting through it, process of elimination, I got all of the stuff that I'm not going to use and sorted it down to, I narrowed it down to three choices that I like. The moons, like more of a rat rod style, or the BBS wheels, which they look pretty good, or the baskets with a knockoff. And I'm leaning towards the baskets, to be honest with you. That's kind of the look I want. I sort of shifted focus again a little bit, looking at the engines and what's possible. I've got this cool BMW 6-banger. I think that was out of that was out of the 600, I think, the 633. I don't remember. And a couple other, the RBs, 2Js and stuff, see what works. But it's a Datsun, so I've got a 6-banger. I think that was out of one of the 280, the 260, I guess it would be. Add some trumpets to it, and that's cool. Looks good to me. I mean, these other ones are also cool. I mean, it's always good to have options, but staying true to form. I mean, of course, you got to maybe have a big old turbo, but true to form, let's do it. Datsun, and that Hellcat buggy project you see sitting over there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but With this one, let's go back, and I'm gonna focus more on the height. It's got to be low. It's got to be slammed. And you can see here in this picture. Let me zoom it in. That it's actually up off the ground. The axle is sitting on a wheel, and that's just too high. It's not low enough. I need it pancaked. So I kind of jumped through some hoops to get that to be the case. I did, like I said, I flipped the leaf springs upside down, and as far as how I'm gonna make the pin on that wheel fit the pin on that the knuckle, the steering part, I've got an idea. I've done it before. It's kind of cheating, but you know what? Whatever. The model's not going to turn. It's not going to roll. It's the way I like it anyways. And the end result is you get a good, nice tuck and a good ride height. I'll kind of try to explain it with the model itself. This is, we're back to where we are now. And I'll try, let's see here. I've got it set all just so. So obviously, first of all, I'm going to take the steering things and turn them upside down. I'll flip those. Same with the leaf springs. And that's kind of my target, that pin, that center pin, as well as just above that, like right about there is where I want that pin. So, I mean, after doing multiple tests up and down, that's ideal. That's the ideal spot. There's just enough clearance for the cross member. I won't have to do any cutting or modding. Just kind of flip the blocks, the leveling blocks that it comes with to make that work. And the steering, it's all just going to be visual anyways. It doesn't matter if it's going to work or not. Again, back to using the parts that are in the kit makes it a little bit easier doing this kind of stuff. That's where it's going to go, right? That's where the box configuration wants to be, but I want to be there. And so what that's going to do is it's, visually it's going to put the wheel way up there if it was in the middle of it. But if I chop that out, that gives me all kinds of play back and forth to finalize my ride height later. Because that's ultimately, that's where I want it. I want it right there where it's on the ground. It's pancaked, as a lowrider mini truck should be. Not much to this thing, Again, like I said, when I'm doing something like this, I always like to start with what I feel is like the hardest part. It's going to take more thought and creation, and I'll just get those pieces that I need to, keep the confusion down. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and chop off the stuff that I will need, sand and file and glue stuff, do a little bit of prep and paint, get it ready for making a slam mini truck. This part, I'm gonna keep the tilt bed, the tilt front end, just because that's cool. It's already there. It's factory. I might probably try to make a scoop of some sort for that. The bed, I want to make a scissor lift. Dancing bed, huh? Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. This is what's on the deck, on the bench, as it were. I feel good about where I'm going with my modifications and fabs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.